Welcome back to the channel, guys. I know it's been some time since I put a video out. I've been extremely busy once I offered up doing free online consultations for sim builds. I've been able to help a lot of you out there, but it has taken a lot of time away from me being able to actually put out videos. But I'm hoping to change that now as I kind of manage my workflow a little bit better. As many of you know, I've had a Carl's Place enclosure in my setup for pretty much the beginning, for the last 5 years. And in that time, they've really done things through the years to improve their design. I've long been a fan of their premium white screen. It's what I've used in my setup from the very beginning and what I recommend to many of you looking to build a golf simulator. It's a really thick, quiet material. Most people don't think about that when they're, designing a simulator. If you get a cheap screen, it's going to sound like a tarp when that ball impacts it. This one is a 3-ply material that's really soft and quiet. Last year, they announced their C-Series enclosures, which I retrofit to my enclosure, and feel free to check that video out on the channel. But basically, they made improvements where they removed the lower border on the bottom of the screen, which really helped with the bounce back and improved the image, just making it more seamless and visually aesthetic, while also lowering the entire screen in the enclosure, which really helps with projector placement, allowing the image to be projected on the screen without having to worry about it clipping the top. Well, just a few months ago, Carl's Place announced their brand new gray screen, which is basically just a color change from the premium white to the gray. It maintains all those same benefits while just offering a better canvas for projectors used in ambient light, which pretty much all golf sims use, unless you use a spotlight, which I'm not a big fan of. Gray screens are something I personally wanted in a sim for a long time. I don't know what took the sim world so long to catch up, as they offer a lot of good benefits for sim use. While gray screens are new to the sim space, they're not new to the home theater space that use projectors as well, as they offer a lot of great benefits, one being perceived contrast, and as well as making those colors really pop on that darker material. Think about it this way: if you're projecting dark colors onto a white screen, it's kind of contradicting the mission in general, and it's going to give you a more washed out look and not as dark or deep of a color. So I've been using it for the last 2 months now. I wanted to make sure that I really put it through its paces to test visual improvements and durability before I put this video out, which is why it took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But I can say without a doubt, after using this for the last 2 months, it's made a big improvement on visuals for both sim and movies, as I use this space for multiple things, not just a golf simulator. So while I was filming this video, I quickly learned, and I kind of already knew from the past, just how hard it is to kind of portray those visual differences on camera, putting it through YouTube with color editing and things like that. So I did my best to do side-by-side comparisons of each example to really show you guys, instead of just saying, take my word for it, but take my word for it, it is a better image, and in my opinion, worth a small fraction of a cost to go from white to gray. I made sure to use the same exact camera on a manual locked profile setting. So ISO, white balance, all that stuff is the exact same, and it's apples to apples across the tests. And then I checked exports on YouTube so I can verify that you can see pretty much what I see. Within a sense, everybody has different monitors, different colors, different color tuning. So it's really hard to put it in perspective, but I'm going to do my best throughout this video to kind of show you those differences. So stay tuned through this video as I take you through those comparisons to help you decide if gray is the right move for you. Please make sure to like and subscribe to this video if you found it helpful, and make sure to check out the channel, as we have a bunch of tips and tricks and tutorials to show you how to build a golf simulator of your own. Links to everything you see in my setup will be listed in the descriptions down below in the video. And as always, we do offer 100% free consultation. We will get on the phone with you, me personally, and help you design a sim that will fit your space and your budget. That way you don't have to guess and make the wrong purchase choice. And we can even save you money on just about every component, from the turf to the screen to the projector. So make sure to reach out to me directly at pixelgolfco.com. Let's get started with the video.
Obviously, the first thing I had to do is remove the white screen, which is extremely easy to do. You just basically pull back the Velcro straps, remove all the zip ties retaining it to the frame, and then remove the 2 lower bolts holding the cable across the bottom of the screen. Then just repeat the process in reverse, grabbing the new gray screen. I like to anchor it up by the 2 top corners, get it into place, and then add even tension across the top with the zip ties supplied. One trick is I actually swap out the plastic zip ties Carl's gives you for metal zip ties. I'll link those down in the description down below if you're interested. They're just a lot more durable, and I don't have to worry about them breaking. Then you just have to move on with the left and the right side, securing it evenly across the left and the right, having a nice even gap between both. Now, a top tip I like to do personally to get a nice, perfectly straight screen is to open your projector settings and turn on the test pattern or grid lines. This will give you nice straight lines that you can go off of and just go around your screen and add tension or take tension off to certain zip ties to try to keep those lines nice and straight all the way around the perimeter. Then just replace your Velcro straps and make any adjustments if necessary with the grid line still on, and put safety foam in if you opted for it, which I recommend pretty much everyone does. Because I was able to make this screen swap all in one day, I immediately turned my projector back on and went to my go-to course that I use for a lot of my tests. It's a course that I'm familiar with here in my hometown, TPC Scottsdale, and I immediately noticed an improved image quality, mainly due to that higher contrast of that gray screen. If you're wondering why everything looks dark around the screen, this is part of those tricky camera settings that I talked about in the intro of this video, as to where basically when you're filming something that's super bright, it may kind of wash out one or the other with automatic settings. I can assure you in these shots, my room is bright. It's just catered to what I'm seeing on the screen that I looked at through exports. So while it may look like I'm filming this in a pitch black room, rest assured my room is actually fully lit in this. It's just really hard when you're trying to record into such a bright light source. And these will be the same manual settings and the same positions that I filmed the white screen in to keep everything apples to apples to help better put it in perspective for you. So while I definitely noticed a visual improvement, it wasn't until I started editing this video and saw the side-by-sides next to each other just to see how much of a difference having a higher contrast gray screen made over the white. You can see in this example with the side-by-side just how deeper the blacks are and how much of a difference it makes in the grass, to the tee box markers, and especially in the trees in the background. Even when looking at the sky, you'll notice on the gray screen it looks like a deeper blue, whereas the white screen it kind of gets washed out. Then looking at the GS Pro loading screen, which is predominantly black, you'll notice how the white screen is struggling, where you can barely even make out the triangular shapes in the image. In my opinion, it made a drastic improvement on the overall image in golf sim software and even movies, which I'll show an example of after. But just look at how much of a difference having deeper blacks makes on the gray screen, in the trees, the fairways, the grass, even the water and the sky and the mountains in the background. I guess one argument to make is that the white screen may look visually brighter, but brightness isn't everything when it comes to having a nice display. Realism, in my opinion, is the most important, and the gray screen is just outshining the white in just about every aspect. Jumping into the movie side by side, we see a very similar story where it just goes to show you how important having a high contrast screen makes and just having those deeper black colors. You'll notice visual improvements in just about every aspect, from the clothing the actors are wearing to the skin tones and all the objects floating around in the air. Again, we have the exact same camera settings for both screens, except this time, since it's a movie, I shot this one with the lights completely off, as that's how you would likely watch it anyway. And here's a close-up example of a piece of the Carl's White Premium screen taped on top of the gray screen with the same image, and you can just see how much of a difference it makes in the detail of the grass, the green, and even the water. Using that same method, look at the black and green Spotify logo. Notice on the white square how much more washed out that black tone is. So if it's not clear by now, I'm clearly giving the win to gray. It outperformed the white screen in almost every scenario, and that would be my pick.
Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful. Again, in my opinion, through all the tests I did, which took me quite some time, I didn't see a case where the white screen was better than the gray screen. For me, picking gray is pretty much a no-brainer, especially considering the fact that it's only about a $50 to $100 upgrade depending on your screen or enclosure size. However, if you're someone who's recently bought a simulator with the white screen, I would tell you don't get buyer's remorse. The white screen is still great. I used it in my sim for 5 years, and it wasn't until I got the gray screen that I kind of knew what I was missing. But I would just tell you, maybe wait down the road when you want to get a new screen upgrade. Then I would definitely recommend going with the gray screen. Please make sure to like and subscribe and comment any additional questions you have down below. You can also reach me directly at pixelgolfco.com, where I can help you build a sim 100% for free. I do free consults. I'll get on FaceTime with you, or we can do Google Meets and work you through your build to make sure you get it right the first time. And I can even save you money on pretty much every component in the setup. Links to everything in my setup, including my website, will be listed in the descriptions down below, so feel free to check those out. Make sure to stay tuned to the channel, as I have some new content and giveaways coming out very soon with 2 new launch monitors, actually 3 new launch monitors. One of them is the Apogee that you've probably seen in my videos that I have been using with the Apex E6 software that I've been pretty blown away with the quality of it. So stay tuned for that and check it out. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you on the next video.